I was preparing a video about Disney, specifically how Disney as a company badly affects modern pop culture. To make that video, I watched 2019's The Lion King live-action remake, and after watching that movie I couldn't really contain my emotions. So I decided to make a separate video just talking about The Lion King Remake, because it was just as bad as I expected it to be. Almost everything Disney produces these days is created to make some cash. Literally everything from the MCU to Star Wars properties. But the live-action remakes are Disney's most shameless cash grabs. And the 2019's The Lion King is by far the most shameless live-action remake Disney ever produced. When I heard about The Lion King remake for the first time, I couldn't really believe that they were actually planning to make this movie. I couldn't believe how they were gonna make the live-action version of this. But apparently I underestimated Disney. When this movie was released back in 2019, I willingly ignored it. Because I knew that I wasn't gonna enjoy it, especially after watching the original 1994 cartoon. Which still looks pretty impressive, if I'm being honest. And yes, I was totally right. The remake is just insufferable. It doesn't even look like a movie, more like a showcase of the modern technology. Film focuses on insects, animals, spiders so much. It's like saying, look how great our technology is, look what we can do with it. And yes, technology really is impressive, that I can't deny. The movie tries to be hyper-realistic, and this is the worst part about this movie, besides the fact that this movie even exists. Because no surprise, hyper-realism just drew all the emotions and colors that the original cartoon had. All the colors, all the weird bizarre craziness that only animation can create. Just compare these two songs, just can't wait to be a king and be prepared from the cartoon with their live action versions. There is something so wrong about it. Disney made its own story so much worse. And it's not like they don't understand what made the cartoon so good in the first place. On the contrary, they perfectly know it, but they are willing to throw it all into the trash can to make more and more and more money. And the Lion King live action remake did bring Disney lots of money. Money is the only reason these live action remakes exist. This movie has almost zero cultural impact. But as I already said, the Lion King remake is the worst of them all. Well, some people might argue that this remake is made for the new generation of kids. But you know, it's not Snow White, the original Lion King still looks very good. And I'm sure modern kids would love to watch the original. As well as all the other classical Disney cartoons, alongside with the new ones. But Disney obviously ain't gonna stop until these remakes make them money. I also really dislike how Disney hires all these well-known directors such as Tim Burton or Guy Ritchie to film their live-action movies. These directors don't add any creative vision. Disney just uses their names to promote movies even more. Guy Ritchie particularly seems to be very happy about it, since he sold himself to Hollywood long ago. No matter how many celebrities Disney casts for the roles, that does not help either. In the case of The Lion King particularly, Donald Glover and Beyoncé were heavily miscasted, especially the latter, with all due respect.
Simba, we need to leave. Scar has taken over with the hyenas. You have to take your place as king.
And I also found out that Disney is currently working on the Lion King prequel about Mufasa called Mufasa the Lion King. Well, considering impressive to say the least box office results of the Lion King movie, that was expected. I am not surprised at all. Disney is trying to capitalize as hard as possible. They are money-making company after all. So anyway, after this movie I'm gonna create another one about modern Disney as a whole, not just live-action remakes. Because Disney's cultural impact is significant, probably as significant as their damage.